Welcome to Murder Tales Shorts, true crime at its bloody best. I'm Lloyd. 19-year-old Derek William Bentley was a petty criminal from Croydon, London. He had spent much of his young life going in and out of approved schools in Borstal and eventually ended up being sent to prison. Whilst being held at Brixton Prison, the warders realised that something wasn't right with Bentley, and so they carried out a series of psychological tests upon him. These concluded that Bentley had an IQ of just 77 and the mental age of a 10-year-old. Bentley was vulnerable and easily manipulated. He was befriended by a local delinquent by the name of Christopher Craig, who began to take advantage of Bentley's low IQ. Christopher Craig was only 16, but he was easily able to manipulate the much older Derek Bentley. On the evening of Sunday the 2nd of November 1952, Christopher Craig persuaded Derek Bentley to take part in a burglary on Barlow and Parker Confectionery on Tamworth Road in Croydon. Unbeknown to Derek Bentley, Christopher Craig was armed with a Colt .455 Webley revolver. The pair of incompetent criminals were seen breaking into the building and the police were immediately called. They were on the scene within minutes. Police climbed up onto the roof and immediately arrested Derek Bentley, taking him into custody. Christopher Craig produced his gun. One of the police officers present said, "Hand over the gun, lad," and Bentley added, "Let him have it, Chris," meaning hand over the gun. There was a standoff. Eventually, Police Constable Sidney Miles climbed up onto the roof. Christopher Craig fired and immediately killed Police Constable Miles. Craig then panicked and threw himself off the roof. A policeman had been murdered. The state felt that an example had to be made and someone had to pay with their life. Christopher Craig was too young to hang for murder, and so it was decided that Derek Bentley would face a capital case of murder. This was despite the fact that Derek Bentley had been unarmed and had been in police custody when Police Constable Miles had been shot. The state didn't even care that Derek Bentley had a low IQ and the mental age of a child. Derek Bentley and Christopher Craig's trial commenced at the Old Bailey on the 9th of December 1952. The Lord Chief Justice, Lord Goddard, presided, and the prosecution was conducted by Christmas Humphreys. The crux of the prosecution's case was twisting those words spoken by Derek Bentley. "Let him have it, Chris." The prosecution asserted that this had been an instruction from Derek Bentley for Christopher Craig to shoot the police officers. After a hostile summing up, it took the jury just 75 minutes to decide that both Christopher Craig and Derek Bentley were guilty of murder. Christopher Craig was sentenced to be held at Her Majesty's pleasure. Derek Bentley was sentenced to hang. Christopher Craig spent just 10 years in prison for the murder. Derek Bentley was hanged at Wandsworth Prison on the 28th of January 1953. The British public were disgusted that an unarmed man who had the mental age of a child and hadn't actually committed the murder had been hung for the offence. There followed a long and bitter campaign for Derek Bentley to receive a posthumous royal pardon. Finally, on the 30th of July 1998, the Court of Appeal quashed Bentley's conviction and confirmed to everyone that Bentley should never have been convicted of murder. If you'd like to know more about this heartbreaking case, then you can find a detailed account in Murder Tales: The Hanged Man's Tales, available exclusively from Amazon in paperback and ebook. It's also completely free to read if you have Kindle Unlimited. Until next time, don't have nightmares.